Dad blamed my baby sister for our mom's death, so I made sure he'd die alone. Charlotte came into this world screaming while Mom left it bleeding, and in that hospital room, Dad decided a 6-pound infant who couldn't even hold her own head up was somehow the villain in his tragedy. I was 18, working overnight shifts at the factory when the nurse handed me my sister. Dad sat in the corner like a statue, refusing to even look at her. When the nurse asked if he wanted to hold his daughter, he just said, "Take it away, not her, it." We used to be happy, the kind of family that actually loved each other. But that version of Dad died with Mom in that delivery room. Looking at Charlotte, I knew she'd never experienced the father I once had when his drinking started before we even left the hospital. Whiskey for breakfast, beer for lunch, and whatever was left for dinner became his new routine. By the time Charlotte was 2 weeks old, Dad had perfected his morning ritual of stumbling to the kitchen, grabbing a bottle, and disappearing until dark. I kept telling myself he'd snap out of it eventually, that we were both grieving, and he just needed time to remember he still had 2 kids who needed him. Then I found Charlotte one morning soaked through her onesie with a diaper so full it had leaked onto the mattress. She wasn't even crying anymore, just whimpering softly, while Dad lay passed out on the couch with an empty bottle. The smell hit me when I realized she'd been lying in her own waste for hours, maybe all night. When I picked her up, she barely weighed anything, and that's when it became crystal clear that if I didn't step up, she'd die. I started using my own money for the good formula, and making sure she always had a fresh diaper. At 3 months old, whenever Dad walked by, her whole body would go still. And by 6 months, she'd learned not to cry when he was home. What kind of baby learns that? Then Dad's grief turned into something uglier. Should have given it away.